Hey, well, hey everyone. I'm Karen Dendy Smith. I'm the founder of the ACC and one of the directors. My partner in crime, Meredith Tolleson, is here too to help get us kicked off and started for the evening. I know many of you, some of you I don't. Welcome to all the friends and family. Thank you all so much for coming tonight. This is a very special event only for our friends and family. It is not a public event. This is to thank all of you for all of your love and support that you've given us through the years, this year, coming to the events, or just not telling us we're crazy for doing what we do in this part of our lives. So we just want to thank you so much. Your donations mean so much to OHANA Animal Home in Spain. Um, and so for those of you who don't know me, I'm in Boston. Animal communication, soul level intuitive coaching. I do energy work with animals and people. And so tonight is really for you guys. We're going to try to get through as many readings as we can. We can't promise for everyone, but just know, even if you aren't selected for a reading tonight, we have asked the animals before we even opened up this event, whether they're alive or in spirit, to please help us deliver the messages that are most important for everyone to hear. So even if we don't pick you directly, just know the animals are all in collaboration working on trying to step forward in a way and poke at us so that a message that comes out is not just for the person we're reading for, but may have some special meaning for you as well. So this is a 2-hour event tonight. Please stay as long as you can. I know if you've already gotten a reading, you might have to go sooner, but we are going to hang in there and try to get through as many people as we can. And I am going to pass this over to Jody Jacobs first, who is our ambassador, to just say hello and talk to us a little bit about Ohana.
Sure. Hi, everybody. Thanks for being here tonight. OHANA Animal Home is very special to me. I've known them for several years now. I don't even know how I first came upon them, but it's two women, and they take on all of these special needs, medically challenged cats, and they work round the clock. They're amazing, amazing women. And we had met with them earlier in the year, hoping to work with them on a regular event, but it was so difficult with the time difference. They're in Spain, and getting their followers to attend an event here. So that's why we decided to do this event for them. They're just great people, and I'm really happy that we're doing this for them. And I want to thank everybody because as of now, we've already raised $1,500 for them, which is a lot of money for these two women running this organization. So we're thrilled with that. And maybe we'll raise some more tonight. There will be a donation link in the chat if anybody feels like donating, but they're great. And you're going to get to see a little bit about them in a bit. We have a video since they couldn't be here with us tonight because it's the middle of the night there. So thank you, everyone.
And Meredith, what do we need for people tonight? So Meredith's going to explain to you what we're doing and how it's going to work.
Hey everybody, so glad you're here. I'm Meredith Tollison. I'm also one of the directors of the ACC. Um, and Karen and I are going to kind of kick off this event for us. What we're doing tonight is a little bit different. Many of you have been to our fundraising events, but some of you haven't. Normally when we do an event, we read in a team of 4 people and we sort of round robin. We read in pairs. Tonight, because we have so many members of the ACC with us, we are going to be reading in pairs, and we're going to go through in pairs and selectively, intuitively select people from the audience for a reading tonight. So it's a little bit different than what we normally do, but it's going to be a lot of fun. What we want from you is very little information. If you would like to have a reading, we first say, please do keep your camera on. If you have your camera off, we will assume that we are going to be respecting your privacy and that you're not interested in having a reading tonight. If you do have your camera on, you have the opportunity to be chosen. As Karen said, we'll go through as many as we can this evening. 2 of us will work together. We will pick someone from the attendees here and do a little quick soul level animal communication reading for you and an animal of your choice. All we need to know from you, and this is very important, is your animal's name, their gender, species, and whether they are alive or in spirit. And we'll ask you for one question that you would like to ask your animal. We'll go back and forth and get some information and deliver it to you. We'll probably ask you, does this make sense? If it does, just say yes. If it doesn't, say no. We'll ask the question in a slightly different way. Somebody's eager to get in the picture there. And this is what happens. A lot of times the energy of an event like this brings the animals in. So we're used to seeing, kitties and puppies walking across the screen. So name, gender, species, alive or in spirit, and one question for your animal. And did I miss, Karen? Is that what we need?
I think that's everything.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome. So we have a little video. Are we going to show the video?
So I'm going to share screen. Play a little video for you. It's only a couple minutes long, but OHANA made it so that you could see a little bit more about them, and then we'll get going. So let me just share my screen. Share sound. Okay. So can everybody see this video? All right. Wait a minute. There we go. And I'm going to hit play and get us started. Oh, hold on. The sound is off for some reason. Let me start again. I don't know why that's happening. It worked 5 seconds.
Retrograde.
Yeah, retrograde. All right, let me just go to the video. Give me 1 second. And I need to close out of it. Of course this happens. We tested it. We totally tested it.
We're among friends and family. It's okay.
I know, but we still want it to go smoothly. All right, let me see. All right. I think it's going to work now.
So we could share it for them. I'm so glad.
Okay, so let me share screen again. We got this going. Share sound. There we go. Okay, here we go.
It all started on the streets. We were there, caring for the stray cats that had no one else. When we started, just the two of us, we helped wherever we could. Day after day, it became our mission to protect them, to give them hope, even when all we had was a small bag of food and a lot of love. We found cats in danger. Some had been hit by cars, others were sick or intentionally poisoned. Many were threatened, and at times we even faced threats ourselves for trying to protect them. We knew we had to do more to get these cats off the streets and give them a real chance at a better life. From those humble beginnings, OHANA Animal Home was born. The sanctuary created specifically for cats who need us the most: the sick, the injured, seniors, special needs cats, and even the feral ones who weren't safe in the streets. OHANA Animal Home is a sanctuary where each cat can finally find peace and safety. They are not just numbers, they are family. They have a home, warm meals, and specialized medical attention tailored to their unique needs. And above all, there are no cages, just freedom, comfort, and plenty of space to be themselves. And of course, an endless amount of love. OHANA isn't a large organization or a traditional shelter. It's just the two of us, dedicating everything we have to provide a true home for these cats. We don't receive government funding. Every vet bill, every meal, every blanket is funded solely through the generosity of private donations from caring people like you and our own income. At the moment, while we're not taking in any more animals, OHANA Animal Home is already a sanctuary for over 70 incredible animals. Each one with a story, each one with a second chance thanks to this sanctuary. thank you to the Animal Communication Collective for organizing this fundraiser. Your support means everything to us and helps keep this sanctuary alive, giving these cats a home where they are loved and cherished.
Okay. So, boy, that was a little bit of a tearjerker for me anyway. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. They are so grateful for our support. I'm going to put these in so we don't have any distractions on my end, and we're going to get started.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to kick it off for us tonight, Karen. We ready to get going, everybody? Okay. So Shay and I will be reading together for the very first reading, and it is a great honor to have the opportunity to read for Mama Mascot. Let me just tell y'all about Janet Dendy. She is Karen's mom, and she has attended from day one every single Animal Communication Collective event except for one, and that's only because she was in the hospital. And she would have tried to come then if they had let her have her laptop or her telephone in that moment. So, Mama Mascot, you and me and Shay, here we go. Now, can you unmute? We tried so hard to mute earlier. We
Am
got
I
you.
around somewhere? I don't even know where I'm at.
Well, I dragged you front and center on the top of my screen, so I know where you are. I can't
Well,
help you
I
on
don't
your
see
end.
me, but that's okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm gonna cry.
Sometimes it happens, and
I'm
you can cry
sorry.
if you want to. This
She
is your
might be on the second page. She might have to click the little arrow.
That's okay. Can I just stay like this?
You can stay where you are. You don't have to see you.
Okay, I see you though.
All right. All
All
right.
right.
So,
Well,
Mama, who you got for us to talk to this
well,
evening?
I have a big decision, but I'm gonna stay with my living animal, Ruby Tuesday, gender female, species dog extraordinaire, alive. And I do have a question.
What is your question for Ruby Tuesday?
I need you to tell her I love her dearly.
Well,
And
you can tell her that. That's not a question.
well, I need someone else to say it for me tonight. I often feel she's afraid to allow me to touch and cuddle her. And she needs to know I need that as well. And I hope she does. How do I do that? Will she allow me to cuddle her and touch her more than she allows me to do that now?
Okay. So, all of us animal communicators know, and we'll tell those of you who are new in the audience, that our animals are always teaching us something. We are working collaboratively with them to learn lessons for our own personal soul growth and development. So, we're going to rephrase your question just a little bit. What is it that she needs you? What is it that Ruby Tuesday needs you to know about her
Standoffishly.
opinion about being snuggled and cuddled? What are we working on in this lesson together? What do you think, Shay?
Sounds too good.
Does it sound too good? Okay.
Yeah, it sounds
So,
good. That's a good way to put it. Thank you.
all right, give us just a moment to clear and connect with Miss Ruby Tuesday. And we're going to kind of take turns here getting a little information about Ruby's personality and about Ruby's snuggling cuddliness. So I do know a little bit about Ruby Tuesday. I don't know anything about Ruby Tuesday in your current situation, but the immediate piece of information that I'm receiving is there's been a lot of change. There's been a lot of transition, and she is settling in, but she's still trying to find her footing. And it feels to me like she's showing me, you know what, a little bit, so are you. You know, everything seems smooth, everything seems really good, but this is different. So how do we together, you and Ruby, um, find your footing? And I literally want to reach down and take off these awesome boots that I have on and put my feet directly on the floor. If I could go outside and put them in the dirt and wriggle my toes in the dirt and the mud to feel more grounded, that's exactly what I would do right now. Does that make any sense to you, Mama?
Yes, definitely. Oh,
What you got, Shay?
So she was letting me know that she loves her name, and she had me call out to her like Ruby Tuesday, like very sing-songy, and her ears perked up, very much emphasizing like her ears. Like she's like she loves hearing things and being alert. Does that make sense to you?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Let me see if she can clarify.
Shay, I'm gonna pick right up on that while you're going back to her. It she's showing me that it does make sense from her perspective, Janet, because there's a lot of listening that needs to be done. And I don't mean that in just the Webster textbook definition of it, but there's listening and there's hearing. You know, there's an old expression, what is it? Listen to me now, hear me later. There's hearing things, but the listening part and putting it deep down inside of you, maybe a place that you could spend a little time. We all have stories that we tell ourselves, and we all have stories that we tell other people, and we kind of repeat the patterns of those tales, but sometimes we're not really listening to the meaning underneath them. So there may be things that you're used to seeing, hearing, feeling, touching, smelling, but there's something a little bit deeper that she's trying to show you to dive into, the difference between listening and hearing and feeling it deep down in your soul.
I agree. I do agree on that.
Beautiful.
If
When
I
I
knew
asked,
what it was, I'd be fine. But I'm listening. I
Mm.
keep trying.
yeah, when I ask her to clarify, she's actually answering the question as well. And so she showing me that like she's like comfortable, and then you want to cuddle her, but she wants to kind of be available to help you if something were to happen. So she wants to be
Okay.
alert and ready, and that's her way of showing her your love. Is that making sense?
Too much so, yes.
Yeah.
You're right on. That's the problem.
Yeah.
She's on guard and security at all times, it seems, and she just won't let go. And
So you said in your question, you need that. You need the snuggles and the cuddles.
yeah,
And
I do.
why doesn't she? And there's a little something in there about you desire that, you want that, but she's showing you a level of her own stability and independence.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
And sometimes you can't always get what you want. That's a completely different song, but it goes right there together, right?
Yes,
Yep.
you're right. You're right.
All right, Shay, you want to wrap us up there?
Yeah, I'm not getting anything else from her. She's like, message delivered.
Message complete.
Yes. Yeah.
And Mama, does the message land? Does that
Yeah, the message lands. The message lands. I think I just will learn to accept and be. She has a nickname, Rubus. I call her Rubus. And
so I
if I
want to
say now, she comes. It's a very interesting conversation we have. So
I
I'll,
want to suggest that you invite her to snuggle and cuddle on her time frame. Let her know that you were open to this, that you would very much enjoy it. Um, if and when she's ready. But that also means that you should consider getting yourself into a situation where you're like, I'm open to being snuggled and cuddled when she's ready and when she wants to.
Okay.
Allow for the possibilities and listen to hear her message. Does that feel complete to you, Shay?
Yes. And, this is like her own way of showing you love. You did ask, no, I need her to say, like, does she love me? And her wanting to do this for you and wanting to stay alert is one way she's expressing that love.
Very much so. You're right. You're both right. Damn it. You're both right.
Yeah. And so is Ruby. And isn't that the kicker, huh?
Yeah, I know. Thank you both. And I appreciate that tonight. I really do.
And
Thank
Mama, we appreciate you and all of the support that you give to this organization and all of our events. So thank you
Miss
for
Paris.
Miss Paris. Yep. Thank you for allowing us to connect with you and Ruby.
Thank you, Shay.
Awesome. All right, handing it off to Karen. Karen, you and Angela are up next.
Okay, Angela, you ready?
Ready.
All right. I am really drawn, probably because the K in the name, Cassidy Busey. That's what name is there for the man in purple and his fabulous partner who's sitting next to him. Are you guys up for a reading?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. So Cassidy, is that Cassidy
I'm just his daughter. This is my dad. His name's Rick.
She's working the computer.
Okay, so what is your name?
My name is Rick.
Rick. Okay, so we are reading for you, Rick.
Yes.
All right. Hello. We're not talking to him though. He has to have fur.
Yes.
Just saying.
It's my grandson. We're all watching.
Hi, buddy. Okay, so Rick, who are we talking to for you?
It's been a hard decision. I got 4 different ones, but I think Duke.
Duke. Okay.
Which he may have been spotted earlier.
Okay. So dog.
Yeah, dog.
Obviously alive.
Obviously, yes, male.
Mm-hmm.
Half Saint Bernard, half pit bull.
Fabulous. And what is your question you have for Duke?
I'm not sure, but is he happy? And he seems confused a lot of times about a lot of things.
Okay. So that's 2 questions. So maybe we want to ask him, what does he want us to know about how he's feeling?
Yes.
Does that sound okay?
Better, yes.
Or how can we love him better?
Okay. So how can we make sure he feels, how do we make sure, what does he want us to know about how he's feeling and what makes him happy?
Yes.
Does that sound good to you, Angela?
Yes.
Okay. So give us a second. We're going to connect in with Duke. Okay, Duke. So when I connected with Duke initially, I get this energy that is just so broad and open. And I feel like he's making me feel him. And I feel like I'm just looking around at everything and just like enthralled by a lot of different things that are around him. Like all of his senses are like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And almost like he's trying to take in a lot all at once. Does that make sense to you about him generally?
Yes.
Okay. Angela?
He's making me feel this excitement and like happiness for everything, like it's seeing it for the first time, just this joy. And then, but it feels like he keeps, like that can be like a lot going on because I feel him like doing something to get the attention on him. Wanting to bring your focus to him, like doing something cute to pull your focus on him. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm asking him, what do we need to know about what will make you feel good and happy? Okay, so I do feel a little bit of a fuzzy head, a little bit lightheaded, almost like I'm trying to think of how to explain this. Almost like I need a little more of something to ground me in my head. So sometimes I was like, when you haven't eaten enough and you feel a little lightheaded and you just want to eat a piece of steak. Sorry, vegans, vegetarians in the group, but like if you have that craving for something that you just haven't had enough of, does that, what I mean by that? Like you just feel like a little, almost, I'm going to say not diabetic, but pre, like, how if you get a little lightheaded from not having your sugars balanced totally, I feel like there's a little bit of potentially that going on with him. And I don't know what you feed him, but I'm wondering if giving him a little bit more of like hearty protein might help the blood movement through his system and give him a little bit more oomph for his brain thinking. Because for me, with all the energy medicine I have, there's a sign that maybe some of the amino acids aren't like enough oomph for him because he is a big dog. So that might help give him a little bit of a sharper mind, to give him a little bit more rich meat in his diet.
All right. That makes perfect sense.
Okay. Because he's a happy guy and he's making me feel like he loves his family. He just he needs some more help with like fueling him, is what I'm getting. What are you getting, Angela?
I'm getting the happiness and the love. It's so much so he's making me feel like it's unfocused, and I'm just hearing that he needs more of a routine and like what to expect throughout the day, to kind of just routine is what he's saying he's craving. And then I just saw so with the head, with the fuzziness, like you like loving on his head and patting his head, like something like him enjoying that, like you loving him and like touching his head. Does that make sense? Like with it just feels like he needs he's just saying like that routine and that like balanced day to day.
Yeah, he doesn't have he has a sort of routine, but he's all over the place a lot of times.
Yeah, I think we're segueing together, me and Angela, with him looking for ways to stabilize himself. And I think from an energy perspective, a little bit more richness in his diet and meat, and then giving his brain some way to kind of have some richness and fortifying it, so that his brain can condition himself into certain routines and stick with it. Because I feel like he likes those routines, but he kind of feels slippery when he's in them. Like he's a little bit like, oh, like he doesn't have the oomph to stick with the things. But I think that the same as Angela is saying, he would like some more routine that he can focus on, but he needs help with the focus.
That makes a lot of sense. And he actually does have a big brother that sometimes eats a lot of his food.
So we may want to give him some side food and let him eat it by himself. Yeah. But protein's very, very important here for him. Like real protein. I can't emphasize that enough with what his system is craving.
All right.
Okay. So I hope that helps. I feel like it's complete for me.
It helped a lot. Can you do any readings for grandchildren that can't get out of the camera?
We can talk about that later.
Right.
Thank you so much.
That was very good.
You're welcome. I love Duke. It was so nice to connect with him.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So next up is Mel and Tracy.
Hi. Oh, so excited to do this. Okay, Jean Coburn, are you up for a reading?
Thank you, Mel.
Yay! Okay, so who are we connecting with today?
I'd like to connect with Sophie.
Sophie.
She's a cat, female and alive.
Okay. And what is your question?
And my question is what can I do to like enrich her life?
Ah,
Um,
yeah. Okay, so, and do you go by mom with her, with Sophie?
um, fine.
Yeah. Okay, so what can mom do to help enrich your life? What do you want us to know, Sophie? Okay, does that
Perfect.
work
Thank
with you,
you.
Tracy, too?
Great, Mel. Yep.
Okay, perfect. So we'll connect in with Sophie. So as she walks into my energetic space, I just have this feeling of happiness and joy. And she's just so friendly and approachable and calm. And she's coming right up to me, and I just want to pet her. And just so friendly and trusting. Does that make any sense to you?
Does, thank you.
I also saw very, I guess, vibrance in her. And what I saw most strongly and what came through in terms of word was the word shadow. And I felt like wherever you go, she wants to be there. And that's kind of the best place for her to be, is somewhere near you. Does that make sense?
That does make sense.
So I'm picking up on the same thing too. And I heard being with you, and in terms of enriching her life. Like she just loves being with you, and spending that quality time is knowing that that fulfills her, and being able to have this really intimate conversation and interaction with you, just one to one, even if it's the smallest of tasks, or doing an errand, or doing something around the house. Just being with you enriches her life. Yeah. How about you, Tracy?
Yeah, similarly, being around you is very enriching for her. I felt that sort of energy. And I'm also seeing that visual stimulation is really important to her. I keep seeing her looking out the windows and watching birds, or that's one of the things she's showing, but she seems to really want to convey the message that seeing things that are stimulating to her is enriching. So it might be things in the house as well. She likes to watch and see what's going on. But she particularly likes the idea of watching birds or animals out the window. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, Tracy, that does, especially interestingly, I cleaned all the windows in my house recently, and she has been obsessed with jumping up on the windowsill since I cleaned all the
Yeah, I love
windows.
it.
It's been really funny. So I've been watching her, and I'm like, I think I need to get her one of those window beds, where they just can sit and look out.
Sounds like a great plan.
That's
Let me just
amazing.
do one more check-in and see if there's anything else that she would like in terms of enrichment.
I also heard enjoying the view with you. So I see her looking outside, and I hear her, Mom, come take a look at this. And she wants to share those moments with you, and the excitement and the ventures outside. Look at this with me. Does
Thank
that
you,
make any
Mel.
sense? Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. She does. I do notice that she looks back at me a lot, like, are you seeing this?
Oh, it's so cool.
Jean, it does feel like right from when she came in, it does feel like she has a lot of enrichment in her life. And the one thing that she's added now is, and I hear the word naughty, because what I see is her, like, that you might put a little toy out or something for her, and what she loves to do is bat it off and get you to pick it up and put it back. It's like she sort of plays with you a little bit that way, that you're trying to do things to stimulate her, and then she kind of plays with you a little bit around that. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. She has a very good sense of humor.
Yeah, she seems to.
And she's going to do it her way.
She definitely likes the toys, though. She likes especially things she can bat off somewhere. That seems to be a particular joy. And particularly if you respond, that's entertaining for her. So
yes, she likes to play with a toy with a person, not by herself.
Right. And it sounds like she's training you well.
I am well trained, and I'm amenable to being better trained.
All right, let's just see if she has anything else to say about that.
And I heard that this is also enriching your life too. So while you're
Yes.
enriching hers, she's working with her heart to keep you on your toes and to keep you occupied and even expecting the unexpected with her, but in a fun, delightful way. Yeah.
You're exactly right, Mel. Thank you so
Oh,
much for
thank
sharing
you.
that.
And the last thing I saw was she almost sees you as two old girlfriends that you've shared a lifetime together and you get each other's jokes and you kind of play and that is what is enriching and fun for her is having you as her girlfriend to kind of do things with. And she does like to, play, tease a little bit and play. And her joy is your joy.
Oh, that's so beautiful, Tracy. I really appreciate that. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. You're very welcome. I hope that answers your question.
Absolutely. It's very helpful. Thanks to both of you.
Oh, you're very welcome, Jean.
Thank you so much. So we have next on board is Pamela and Jane.
Hello, I'm Pamela. Jane, you've got to unmute yourself.
Yes, sorry. I got a cat in the way.
Okay, so I was wondering if Mary Applegate, would you be interested in having a reading? You have to unmute yourself there.
I sure would.
Okay, so who would you like to have the reading for?
I would like to have a reading for Finnegan, who is a dog. He's 7 years old. And let's see what
Alive or passed over?
yeah, he is alive, right next to me here.
Okay.
And I am wondering if he feels like he could be friends with the new puppy in the house.
Oh, there's a good one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'll make it a little more general, just sort of ask him how he feels about the new puppy.
Okay.
Work for you?
Good, yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll start. I'm just going to invite him into an imaginary space and get to know him a little. The first thing I feel like he's showing me, or I can hear the sound, like repeating his name, almost like with a beat to music. Like, I can't tell if he hears it with like music, or there is music going on, or you say his name in a musical way. Does any of that make sense to you?
I'm musical. I don't
Okay.
see his name particularly musically, I don't think. But
Yeah, I kept hearing Finnegan, but it was music. It's like music. So I'll see what.
I'm hearing the same thing. I'm hearing Finnegan, Finnegan, begin again, Finnegan. And I'm
Right.
also seeing the color green. And maybe it's because of the name, but I'm here a lot of Irish background, I guess, in the name, but I'm also feeling a little sort of tense or maybe a little bit nervous and jumpy, kind of feeling. He does he startle easily?
Well, I mean, the puppy has that puppy energy, and he's sort of like,
Gotcha.
I
Of
don't
course.
know,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And I try to protect him from it because I don't think he's too into it, but I'd like for him to be in, for them to coexist happily.
I'm seeing a lot of, hey, what are you doing? Hey,
Yeah.
stop that.
Yeah, I also saw him doing the kind of like almost not moving back, but like sort of pulling himself in around if the puppy comes up. And he's kind of it's mixed because he's curious about what the puppy does, but doesn't want to let you know that, sort of like he's hiding it a little bit. It's not quite annoyance. He's intrigued, but he's a little bit, calm down around me, stop coming after me like that. I'll see if
Yeah, he's curious. He doesn't, but he's just not sure how to approach the puppy. I feel like his sense of curiosity is he wants to connect with the puppy, but he's also kind of, wait a minute, stand, um, slow down. It's not so much energy, just, take it down a notch.
Yeah, I sort of
How do
heard,
you feel?
give it a rest, don't push it.
Yeah.
Like sort of let it happen. And sometimes I'm seeing that you may be helping, how do you like the new puppy? And, kind of try, suggesting little things they could do together or trying to make that happen a little. And he's sort of like, it's going to just happen. I just need my time to sort of observe.
Yeah,
I
I'm sort of seeing an image of you sitting on the couch on a couch or something with him tucked up beside you and the puppy running around. And you're just having a conversation with him. Yes, look at the puppy. Yes, he's having a marvelous time, and if the puppy comes and, wants to jump and attack or, like, what's going on? Come and do this. You're saying, you say to the puppy, no, it's okay. You just go and play and do your thing. You let the puppy do what he wants to do while ensuring and reassuring Finnegan that it's okay, everything's okay.
Yeah,
And
it's got this interesting, a little bit different. He's like, it's okay, but, okay, I'll adjust about the puppy. But there's a moment where he's feeling like he was head dog, or, they seem to have a hierarchy, dogs, and he was the dog, and he's kind of wondering what the intentions are for the puppy. Is the puppy going to compete someday to be the head dog? So he kind of thinks about that, like, and I don't know if you've said anything to him to make him feel like or says anything to the puppy, so he thinks, wait, maybe this puppy's going to be more in charge, the top of the ladder here. Does any of that make sense? Is he anything?
Yeah. I have actually managed the puppy quite a bit, so he's not running around, but I'm raising him for a service organization, so he's not going to be the head dog. And I was real worried about how Finn was going to accept a puppy because he is just the head dog, Well, he was the only thing.
Yeah.
So, but I haven't really communicated to him. Don't worry, he's going to be gone in a year. Um,
And that's what I'm
I think-
hearing. That's what I'm hearing is talk to Finnegan. Tell him these things. It's okay. You're still top dog. Explain to him that the puppy's not going to be here. This is his home for a year, but he's going to be moving on and yeah.
Yeah, I think he sensed somehow that there was something, and I'm glad you said that about the safety dog or service dog, I guess it was. He wasn't quite sure what that was, that you mentioned that. He'd heard conversations about that. So he's, wondering what that is. So
Okay.
maybe if you're talking to him, explain this will be his special thing to do. And you're special here or whatever, his. They like to think they have a job, so.
Yeah, it never occurred to me to explain it to him.
Yeah.
Funny, people don't realize that, but they understand a lot more. They may not actually speak our language and speak to us, but they understand our energy and they understand the words with the energy.
So if I'm loving on the puppy, he's just thinking that the puppy's going up in value if I'm loving on the puppy. I guess.
Yeah, that's probably going to a little of that naturally anyway, but I think he, you know, it might, like talking to him is, they really like to have you talk and explain things. So, you know, the puppy's going to have his own thing to do.
Mhm.
So,
Does that
does that answer your question?
yeah.
Yeah, that you picked up on the vibe that he was putting out, but kind of
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's always
Yeah.
you could see him sit back. So,
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
okay.
Good luck.
Thanks very
Thank
much,
you.
both of you.
And we're going on to Monica and Donna.
Okay. I am drawn to Melanie. And Melanie, are you up for a reading today? Did I pronounce it correctly? Melanie Diaz? Oh, can you unmute yourself, please?
Yeah, you could unmute.
Sure. It's Melanie Dees, and sure, if that's okay.
Awesome.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
I,
And
I
who
was
would you
just
like?
lurking.
Now you're in the spotlight.
Oops. I got the head nod, so I guess it's okay. Um, sure.
So what animal would you like us to read today?
That's a great question. Am I getting any hints from my friend or family? Nope, she's shaking her head. Okay, then let's go with my newest baby, who's never been read. His name is Henry Miller. He's a cat, and he is very much with us.
Okay, I'm assuming male.
Male, yes,
Okay,
yes.
Okay. And do you have a question?
My biggest question is, how is he enjoying life in our house?
Okay. Donna, that's a pretty wide open question. I think we can go with that unless you want to tweak it a little.
No, I think that's fine. What would we
Yeah.
like? What would he like mom to know about how he's getting on in the house?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's connect in with Henry. Wow, I just feel this preciousness. Oh, he's like so precious. And I just have to mention, like before I even picked anyone, when we were doing the meditation, we do a little meditation to start. I saw this black and white kitten just wanting to be in a tree or just in this tree. And and this was before any of the people came in. And now I'm feeling a connection with that with Henry. So I think he was calling out even before we started. So he just has this gentle curiosity, but it's not spastic. It's like he sits there and he's just like, we'll just look at, say, a flower or something small, and he just is able to just enjoy that little thing to its fullest. And I just see him like in so much like wonder and appreciation for everything, where he is. Definitely a heart connection with you. Definitely. Just like the two of you to get together, and it's like that Grinch's heart just goes, you're over here and you're over here, and you get together, and it's like boom, 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 boom. Does that make sense?
It surprisingly it does.
I get a little bit different take on him. It's like he comes in with this beboppity boop, energy, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm here. I'm part of the pack." And he's the kind of boy that goes up and like just puts his nose to the other animals, just to kind of like, "Hey, I'm here," almost like if you were like to do like touching arms, that kind of thing, just to connect with the other animals, to reach out. Does that make sense for him?
Now,
Now?
now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's feeling a part of. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
Hanging with his boys, homies.
Yeah.
Don't know the right way to describe it, but yeah, part of the gang.
And so the question was, how is he enjoying?
But if I were going to, it was like, yeah, it was a question of whether the first week was hard. Should he stay?
Oh,
Yeah.
he is there.
Well, I mean, it's been a year, so
Oh,
he's
okay.
staying, but
Yeah.
yeah. Are we going to be okay? Is he okay? So,
Um, it's funny because as soon as you said that, he's like, "Why don't you think I'm okay?" So he was like, and he's like, "I'm trying to see this from your perspective, but I'm not quite getting it." Is what I'm feeling from him. Um, oh,
Yeah.
oh, yeah. So he says, he's pointing out that he gets like we think in very different ways, and he's asking that you observe him a little more. Just sit back and observe him. From and he's saying, ask to see it from his perspective because he really wants to play with this with you. And he says that there's some misinterpretation from some of the things you see him do, and he kind of wants you to verbalize it and just say, okay, this is what I'm thinking, and then he's going to give you more clues because he's saying that yeah, he loves it there, but he also has a very different perspective, which he wants to share with you in little pieces, just to really watch him. And he'll let you know when he's really happy. And he's telling me he's let you know when he didn't like things, and you know when he doesn't like things, if that makes sense.
oh, that does.
Okay.
That absolutely does.
Yeah. He's also coming in for me with this visual. I'm seeing him like literally finding his way around each of the people in the household with the personality. And he's showing me literally circling around each person and looking at them from different angles and finding his place in relationship with them, if that makes sense. And that he feels like he's finding his way. He's also finding his favorite spots in the house, and sometimes it's like this is just purely enjoyment on his part. If one of the other animals will get up and leave, or even a person gets up and leave, he'll jump in that spot and just take their spot. Does
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's like how he plays. Gotcha. So yeah, he's having a good time. He's really getting into it and being part of the pack. So from his perspective, it's all good.
I love it. Yeah.
Good. I hope that helps.
Definitely. He keeps me from going back to bed because he's there the minute I stand up.
Well, thank you, Melanie. Does that answer
Thank you.
your
It
question?
does. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Melanie. That was lovely. He's fun.
And I
Oh, he
think
is.
we're moving on to Anne and Meredith. I have my list right.
Yes. Hello. Victoria, would you like to have a reading?
Yes, of course.
Okay, great. So, can you tell us who your animal is, name, gender?
Yeah, it was a hard choice. I have three I wanted, but we'll go with Dexter, who's a dog, a male, and he's alive.
Okay.
And I am wondering how he's feeling physically because he's 16 and a half now,
Mm-hmm.
and he's
Okay.
slowing down a little bit.
Okay. Okay. Let me just take a moment here to connect with him. As I was sitting here watching this video, I kept hearing this dog say to me, "Oh, I feel so tired. I'm so tired. I'm running out of my energy." And I, I, I guess that's why I chose you, because your Dexter was calling out to me to talk with him. He, as far as sensing from his body, I can tell that um, he wishes that he was a puppy again with the puppy energy, but he can't do that. He feels like he's having some difficulty keeping up with the other animals in the house. And he would truly love to be able to do that more. Does that make sense to you, Victoria?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Um, he, yes, he is slowing down, for sure. And I also feel a little bit of grumbling in my tummy, and I think he's trying to tell me that his digestive system is a little off. Um, and I'm also, I mean, this is just what I'm getting from his body. And also I'm feeling that um, his hind legs, he's showing me that they're fairly short and his hips ache some. I don't know if, does that make sense to you?
I'm not convinced on that one because he's very long-legged. He's like 10 pounds of athleticism still. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
maybe his hips.
he's showing me he's in my hips and lower hip area that it's a little achy for him.
Okay.
Maybe a little arthritis or something.
Well, and so I'm over here smiling and giggling a little bit because Anne said grumbling. I'm nodding my head because what I got from him is the old man energy sitting on his front porch going, "You get off my lawn." Like he's still got all this vibrant energy, but he's a
Yes.
little irritated because he does know that he's aging and he knows that his body is, we eventually all run out of steam, but he's still got that fire inside. And he's coming across to me as this crotchety old man, like just griping and grousing and moaning about, yeah, oh, my hips hurt, on my back. Like, it makes me think of my Aunt Janie, who, "Aunt Janie, how's your day?" "Well, my knees hurt and my hips hurt and my back hurts and I don't think so good anymore." And you want to say, well, all I really wanted to know was, have you had a good day or a bad day, So he just feels kind of like a grouchy old man, like "Wah, wah, wah, wah," just expressing some of his frustration, but with humor and with there's nothing malicious about it that I'm feeling, but
No.
just kind of old grandpa, just rah, 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 rah. Does that make sense to you?
Yes. Yeah, he's that dog on walks who loves to bark at other dogs and be like, "Leave me the hell alone."
Get off my lawn.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just trying to get through my walk.
What else you got, Ann?
Well, and I think that's part of the reason why he told me he wishes he was a puppy in a way still, so that he could run around with all the other dogs and feel it would be more enjoyable for him, but it's not so much anymore. So that's, I think, part of the grumbling that I'm getting from him as well. And I feel he's showing me that there's a little bit of competition with one of the other animals in the household, in that he he doesn't always show it, but it's there. You know it's there. And he's just telling me that's the way it is. I'm not going to change. Maybe that other guy can change, but I'm not going to. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, yeah. His bonded sister passed away, so we got another younger dog, and
Okay.
it's comforting to have another, warm body to play with, but they kind of tolerate each other more than they're good friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
And
and
yeah.
he wants your other dog to know that he was here first and he was in the household first, and so really he's in charge. The other dog is not yet. So it's just a little bit of inside talk that they have going on. It's nothing like malicious at all or anything like that, but he it's there.
I agree with that, and that it feels like a bit of a rivalry. It's a relatively good-natured rivalry, but it doesn't look like it on the surface. Like he doesn't really dislike this dog.
Mhm.
He doesn't really have a problem with the situation. But when you said another warm body, it's hilarious because all I could see was like this old papaw that I'm talking about, wrapped up in a bathrobe with an extra sweater and an extra blanket, and the heat turned up to 78, where you
Yeah.
walk into grandpa's house and you're like, oh my God, let's open a window in here. It's steaming in here. But he feels little, like he's got on sweaters and blankies and everything else. And
Mhm.
and just kind of shaking a finger at the young whippersnapper that's intruding on his territory.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just kind of keeping him in control, not letting him do all that he wants to do. It's just keeping him in line, I guess you could say.
well, that's funny because we have to dress him up in like 3 layers to go for a walk now because he's so
Oh,
cold. And the
oh.
other dog's running around and acting crazy. And he's like, oh, just put another jacket on, right? Oh, it's so cold. Yeah. So this is
Isn't that
very
funny?
accurate.
Mm.
So my final comment would be physically, I'm not feeling like I'm asking him to show me in my body what does it feel like? And I'm not feeling necessarily pain
Mm-mm.
or um, even significant discomfort. I feel stiff in the same way that, at my age, I'd swing my legs out of bed in the morning and go, all right, hips and knees, let's go. We got this, right? I am feeling a bit of tenderness in my teeth,
Yeah.
in my back right jaw
Okay.
that and he keeps showing me the wind up. It's funny, this shows up for me a lot. Wind up teeth, the little jump, you wind them up and they jump across. There's something about teeth that he's making me very aware of.
Okay.
But physically in my body, I feel some places that are stiff, some places that are a little bit tingly, like when your foot's waking up from being asleep, but nothing to me feels painful.
Mhm.
I'm just a crotchety old man rocking in my rocking chair. Give me more blankies and keep me warm and let me turn the heat up to 78.
Yes, I would like to say finally, I agree with that, Meredith. I didn't get any pain from him at all, but it was more achiness, like I said, in his back legs and in his back. So that's what he probably would love to have, is being wrapped up in a blanket every night. A warm, very warm blanket, and he'll be happy.
It does.
Does that
Thank
feel
you so
complete
much.
to you, Victoria?
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. Thank you.
Well, thank
Oh,
you for sharing Dexter with
yes.
us. You good, Ann?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Well, that wraps that up. Next, we have Shay and Karen.
Hello. Hi. Okay. Shay, you're picking this time.
I've been gravitating towards Kayla Brennan. If you would like a reading, let us know.
I would love one. Yeah.
Hi, Kayla.
Hi.
Alright.
So I guess I'd like to do my dog Cleo. She is female and she is alive.
Okay.
Oh, and I would like to ask if anything, I want to ask if anything traumatic happened to her before like her adoption, because um her behavior just sometimes seems that way. Um, but I don't know if it'd be better to ask what happened to her before I found her.
Yeah, Karen, I need your help phrasing the question.
Okay.
Don't want to
So
assume something happened, right?
yeah, so let's ask her. We don't know what the behavior is, which we don't need to know, but let's ask her what is important for you to, what is important for Kayla mom to know about your behavior that would be helpful. And let her unfold it the way she wants to, because sometimes they want to give some details, but before, or sometimes they don't. They'd rather focus on what they need now. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So let's ask Cleo what she needs you to know about her behavior that would be helpful for you and her and your relationship. Okay. All right.
The moment to connect with.
Yes. All right, sweet Cleo. So while Shay's connecting, I immediately feel just the most beautiful heart. Just this really sweet heart inside of a being that it does have, okay, I'm going to say, yes, there was something, because I do feel like this heart that wants to open up, but sometimes is afraid. So from that perspective, I get the sense there may be either some anxiety or presenting of emotions that seem fearful. Does that make sense to you, Kayla?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's this beautiful, gentle heart in there. So I'm gonna let Shay take it from there while I ask her a little bit more about that.
Came through for me is funny. She's reminding me of like Lilo and Stitch, and she's taking me to like aliens. um, and showing me like this visual of the moon is really like fixated on staring into space and like this moon, which I can get more information on. But there is a sort of like, she wants me to say esoteric. I'm not entirely sure about that definition right now, but she's like, um, there's more going on up there, like more that she's knows. She's like, I know a lot more than you think, almost like if she was from like a foreign planet. I know that sounds weird, but is that making sense to you?
Yeah, she's definitely very intelligent, emotionally and just intellectually. Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
yeah, she knows her stuff.
So when I ask her to explain like what would be helpful for her now, based on some experiences she may have had from before, she has a very sensitive nervous system. And I think that relates right into what Shay is saying about being so consciously aware of things in a way that very aware of frequency shifts and things around her, that she's looking for stability. And by stability, when I ask her, what do you mean by that, sweetie? Clear that nothing is going to get past you to her. There's something about making sure nothing gets past you when she's in a space of trying to get a sense of what is around her. So this is actually, she's her real super high sensitivity. You actually have too. And there's a resonance between you around getting some footing around not letting things get past you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
on a more abstract soul level?
Yeah, it does. It does to me,
And the
yeah.
more she's telling me, the more you get grounded in trust in yourself and your boundary setting, the calmer she can be, because she doesn't have to be so aware of all the extras going on for her and for you.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it does seem like she, like if I'm anxious or going through something, she's like attached to me. Like she's I mean, she's very lovey, but yeah, it's like glue.
Extra.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. So I do sense that she's
Mhm.
like picking up on it and trying to melt it for me, maybe, or get me out of my head. I don't know.
Yeah. You guys have a
Yeah.
lot of that in common.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that, or I can believe it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ask her the question, she is letting me know that she felt like misunderstood. Um, I have to say to for you to like do a rewatch of Lilo and Stitch because there might be a message in there for you because she's really sticking with this. But she's like showing me like Stitch kind of walking through this like factory with like all these gizmos and things happening, and just like he's just so smart. Stitches. Cleo's also smart, and needing more stimulation is the word that comes to mind mentally because she just like is so aware, and then she's making me feel like you understand her, and that's to like echo what Karen's saying, like you guys are very similar, and so she finally feels okay, like I'm understood in this home, but it's like she wants to like up level you, like take you, you know, to infinity and beyond. All these Disney things are coming. Is that making sense to you?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Don't know what to say towards it, but it definitely resonates with me for sure. I do like sense, or I mean, I misunderstood her when I first got her too, because probably because of the trauma stuff. And she's a rescue, but
Yeah.
I think other people, maybe other dogs, misunderstand her, just because she's very reactive, but I don't think that's really her. I don't think her reactive side is her, you know.
No, it's definitely, it's about confidence.
Mm.
Lack of confidence.
Okay.
Right. So if she's being overly reactive, it's because she's not feeling safe within her boundaries and
Mhm.
like she doesn't have a good footing, which is a mirror of sometimes what happens with you about feeling like I'm not sure I have my footing or what's happening. There's some frenetic stuff going on even in you that is also going on with her. So the more you can ground yourselves, take some deeper breaths and set the bubble around the two of you around safety. And I've got this and some confidence in what your choices are. There's something about you making choices that you feel good about. The more you like stick to your choices, even if somebody else doesn't understand them, it doesn't matter if they understand them. It matters that it matters to you. The more you find that confidence and grounding in your own heart and soul and project that, the more she gets to see it, be in that bubble with you.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. A lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just
Get some two sensitive girls trying to work it out together.
Yeah.
The last thing that she's wanting me to relay is it's going to be Lilo and Stitch again, but it's the scene where so I was like, could we go somewhere else? And she's like, no, this makes a lot of sense. It's a scene where like Lilo and Stitch are bonding over Elvis and he's like dancing to the music. And Cleo's telling me it's not necessarily like Elvis that brought the confidence as much, like maybe that was a tool, but it was like him and her like working together and like spending time together and like bonding that really brought that confidence for Stitch to be who he is. And so Cleo's like, that's also what she's suggesting for you too as well.
Interesting. Okay. So grounding and focusing on our connection because she's supposed to it sounds like we're supposed to help each other like um I don't know, help each other get grounded but also
Safe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. You've got it.
Yeah.
So you can
Thank
talk
you.
to her about this now and thank her for sharing what you guys have in common and that you are going to look for the things that help the two of you kind of grow in your confidence.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Thank you guys so much.
Welcome.
Yeah.
That helps.
Yeah.
Cool.
Beautiful girl. Love her energy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay, so next up we've got Mel and Angela.
It's so hard. I want to read all the babies. Rashmi, are you open to a reading?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, so the whole time I've been thinking between two cats, and the first name that came to my head when you said my name is Ocean. So I'd love to talk about or speak to Ocean. He's a cat, male. Yeah, he's still alive.
Okay.
That's it. Okay.
And then, do you know a question that you want to ask Ocean?
Um, yeah, more kind of like a. Actually, I think you will be answer that better. More of around how to engage with him more because he's very quiet. He's the one that really stays away from everybody, and how to engage him to be more active and healthier.
Let's see. So we can ask Ocean, how can mom and dad get you to engage more specifically with you guys? Is that what you're asking? To be more healthier and just active? Okay. Does that sound good to you, Mel?
Sound great. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm connecting in with Ocean. He really doesn't have any confidence issues. He's a very confident boy. And he shows me like you guys coming to him. You go to him to pet him very much. Mom and dad will come to me with this, like I don't even need to move because they're gonna come to me. Is that making sense?
That's exactly him.
And he has such a beautiful name too. And the way I see him coming in, just like what Angela mentioned, there's this presence to him. He comes in and slides right in, and he just feels so statuesque as he's sitting right in front of me. Just really tall posture, very statuesque, very confident. Does that make sense?
Very.
Oh.
Ask him like when I start to ask him the question, he's like, why would I need to move? And I get like an exaggerated, like licking his paw. And he's just like this, like, I'm so perfect right here and comfortable. Like, why is this a problem? Is what I'm hearing.
He's exactly like he's always just so comfortable wherever he is. He finds the best sleeping spots and he just sleeps and sleeps.
Oh, he's funny.
And I have a knowing that he claims his space too. Once he's sitting there, he wants things to be brought to him. So I see someone bringing a toy to him and he's looking at it and examining it and thinking if he wants to engage. But I have a knowing he just really claims his space and he's so content just being, if that makes sense.
I guess my worry is he's getting bigger.
Mhm.
He's showing me like you bringing him toys to get him to be more active and engaged and like you trying to play with him. And but I just see like the toys piling up around him and him watching you and and he thinks it's cute like you guys are playing, but he's just very happy and content like being Ocean. So maybe what else? What can they do? He's showing me, are you guys like down on the ground, like trying to play with him? I don't know if that's something you've tried before. Um, he feels more excited about that, something you being like ground level with him.
We've never tried that, no.
Yeah. And you're not going to be able to buy like a moving toy and like to entertain him. Like you're going to have to be the one like moving it on the ground, fully engaged with him. Does that make sense?
I feel like I'm literally in my cart that's like more moving toys, like how to engage him.
You say like it's gonna have to be you, mom and dad. You're gonna be the ones moving the toys because it's he wants you involved in the activity, in the play with him, if that makes sense.
I also have a knowing that along with you both being involved in the activity and play, he also wants to be mentally stimulated too. So I don't know if there are cat puzzles with like little treats, but I see him figuring something out, and it's also annoying, figuring something out with the two of you, trying to figure out how to get the treat in this puzzle because he's smart. He's really smart. It's just a matter of um, engaging that, putting a fire to that. So he's like, "Ooh, how do I get this?" If that makes sense.
You know, in my head, I was already telling Ocean, no treats, no treats, anything but treats. But so he found a way to bring in treats with engagement. He's so smart.
So smart.
Okay, yeah, that's a really good idea. Thank you.
Yes.
He's obsessed with treats.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. See if I'm getting anything else. Yeah, he's really working with you guys. He's just bringing up for you to be active too, and then he'll start being more active. So it's like you guys are both going to be doing this together and on this journey of being active and healthy together. Does that make sense?
Thank
I
you.
heard the same too. And he says, I love you both so much. Yeah.
I do want to just say that I've been really considering getting that puzzle treat thing. And I was like, but I don't know if I want to give him more treats because he has so much treats already. But that's so great. Thank you so much.
So cool. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, up next we have Tracy and Pamela.
Dave, I was wondering if you're interested in having a reading. Is that a yes? I think so. Dave, are you interested in having a reading? Is it? Maybe his sound's not working.
Yeah.
Oh, there.
Right there?
Might be faint.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
All right.
Welcome.
I switched microphones. I don't know why it wasn't working before.
Yeah.
So yes.
So name, species, gender, alive or in spirit.
So we have two cats, Louie the boy, Hazel the girl, and I have a bunch of questions about their food, but so I guess I'll just ask what would
Can we
they
pick?
like me to
Can we pick
food?
one cat?
Okay, I would pick Hazel because I feel like Louis sometimes bullies her away from the food, or she sees some meeting she doesn't go over to eat. So I worry that she gets enough to eat.
Okay. And so that's your question is around her food?
Right, Hazel, and what would she like me to know about her food, and is she getting enough to eat?
Okay. Does that sound okay to you, Pamela?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I'll work.
So the first thing I see, Dave, is I see her almost strutting, and what I hear is I'm so sweet. And there's a level of confidence with her. However, when Louis is around, I feel like she kind of retreats a little bit, like she kind of holds back a little bit more when he's around. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, that's exactly how she is. She's very sweet and loving and just sort of coy and cute. but he's a much bigger personality, and she definitely draws back when he's around.
Okay, perfect. Pamela?
Yeah, I'm seeing a little like when it's feeding time that Louis, is that the other cat's name?
Yeah.
She feels like he glares at her or just gives her a look like I want it, like he wants the food, but she's having it, and so it makes her uncomfortable eating. Does that make sense?
That's exactly what happens. He's numero uno,
Yeah.
and sometimes she's there first, sometimes he's there first, but he will look at her or she will look at him, and she'll just trot away. She feels intimidated by him.
Yeah.
It seems too that she may be the cat that you're more drawn to, or that those around her are more drawn to. Like she's the one that's what she's saying is pretty, but she's like, I'm the pretty one. I'm the one that people want to engage with, and there's a little bit of I'm going to use the word resentment on his part, a little bit of like, hey, what about me? And it does feel like she's very cautious around him. Sort of like when you have not a great relationship with someone and you're kind of tiptoeing all the time and not wanting to kind of annoy them. And it feels like that's what's going on for her. And certainly around food, I think much like Pamela, it feels like she needs a safe space away from him in order for her to be able to eat. Like as long as he's there, she's more conscious of him than she is of what she's supposed to be doing. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I mean, I personally am more drawn to Hazel. I think Louie and my wife have more of a closer relationship. He snuggles with her on the bed a lot, although they both are on the bed.
Okay.
But yeah,
Don't share too much more, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
I appreciate what you're sharing totally. But just so that we can share more with you. But thank you. That's helpful to know.
Yeah,
Pamela?
I get a very strong thing from her that she wouldn't, it's sort of like well, I wouldn't ask this, I wouldn't want to bother her about the food situation, but she'd really rather eat somewhere if she could have her food in a different place than Louis, because it just makes her uncomfortable and it's like I think it even affects a little bit of her digestion because she doesn't feel relaxed eating because he's there, he's looking at her, I think like Tracy said, feeling some resentment about her and the attention she gets. So I think it's almost like she's looking around, like, is there a place somewhere else where you could put my food dish? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, we've thought about that. We actually did give her another little mat just around the corner, but she didn't really take to it. I think they're both so much in the habit of going to the familiar place.
Yeah. And it's sort of like we've said before, she I'm sensing that she likes to talk. She likes it if you talk to her and you talk about this, like you're talking to another person. And, we know that makes you a little uncomfortable. We could try putting your food in here. So that's special for you. And Louis has his place. I feel like that she might reach, maybe not at first because it seems different and they like routine, but she's really not enjoying eating as much as she did before because of how he looks at her and glares and kind of like waiting. It's almost like he's saying, I'd like that food, so move.
Yeah, I've wondered if there's a way that we could make a feeding place that's only this big because he's twice as big as her.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Maybe even a place that's separate from where you feed him. And make a big deal of if he's kind of being jealous sometimes, just, hey, Louis, we've got a special place for you. And then in the meantime, you're setting up a special place for her.
Okay.
Yeah, Pamela, I'm getting similar. First, before I forget, Hazel's lovely, and she comes across as a bit of a princess in a good way. But it's as if it's a natural thing that she should have the best quality of whatever. And she is pointing out in as gentle a way as possible that she'd be very happy if you added some different food that is more palatable for her. Not, I mean, she's okay with what you have, but I kind of see her as wanting something a little bit more too. And she's particularly pointing to more wet food, that kind of thing. But she would be very happy to receive that. But much like Pamela, with the cats having different spaces, what came through was Louis needing attention and affection. You know, if your wife can be the one to sort of draw him out and give him that attention and make sure that he's in a space where that what I hear is eating is an experience. So it's not just kind of putting the food down, but doing something around the food that makes it more interesting for him, and have him in a completely separate room, and same with her, so that they can both sort of learn to relax and feel comfortable having their food. And making it an experience makes it more interesting for them to try this. And by experience, I'm just throwing that in. It could be like having it in a ball or putting it in on a mat that's harder to eat, something to make it more interesting. Does that make sense, Dave?
Yeah, that's interesting. We'll think about that. See what kind of things are available, or spaces in the house or whatever.
Yeah. And Louis definitely wants attention, more attention. So giving him that will be helpful, it seems to.
Okay.
Emma, anything?
Well, I did also sense that she's sort of letting me feel a little bit that she's usually goes along with things. It's, it doesn't make a fuss about things. She likes to, be a good cat that does all the good cat things, like not digging up the furniture. So she tries to be like that and not make a fuss. But this really makes her uncomfortable. Like it really makes her, I keep feeling it in my stomach, like when you're nervous in your stomach. So she kind of worries about it, and she doesn't feel like herself when she goes through that particular interaction with Louis. So it probably would be really helpful, just to find a separate place for her to eat.
Okay.
Last thing from me, she loves being adored by you. It's sort of like a pride for her that she can be adored by you. And just like Pamela was saying, like I'd feel her kind of shrinking, like she has to play small when he's there. Like she loves being adored by you, but when he's there, she feels like she kind of has to play small and not let herself fully receive your love and fully be her kind of animated, happy self. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a competition for the lap spot.
Right.
I need to find ways to give them both lots of attention.
Right.
Yeah, she appreciates all that. It's the same kind of feeling, like Tracy was saying, that when most of the time she feels very confident and calm and loved and comfortable, and there's that one thing where she really, seems out of character for the home atmosphere.
Yeah, agreed. So I hope that answers your question, Dave, and helps you a little bit with beautiful Hazel and Louis.
Yeah, that's very helpful. Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, and next up is Jane and Monica.
Hi, back again. I am wondering is it Susie Susie Mariette? How do you say your name?
It's Suzette. It's my short name, Suze Marie.
Oh, Susie Marie. Okay. Would you like a reading tonight?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Her name is, or she's a cat, female.
Mm-hmm.
You need her name too, right?
Yes, please.
Her name is Minnie. And I've adopted her. I've only had her for a little over a week.
Oh, okay. So, so
And I want to know what I can do to help her in any way get comfortable in this home.
Okay. I think that's a good way to phrase that the question is how can we help Minnie how can Suzette help Minnie to be comfortable in the house, to be
Yep,
more comfortable at home? Okay,
I like it.
to feel it.
Okay,
Okay.
give us a second.
Mm-hmm. Well, a little kitten has come marching in. She's just a little ball of fluff, and she's literally come marching in like she's doing this with her paws. Um, yeah, it's almost becoming cartoonish. She's it's like I'm home, I'm home. Instead of the uh hi ho, it's off to work we go. It's no, I'm home, I'm home.
Well, that's amusing, Jane, because so Minnie, I hear Minnie, and
Mhm.
I see Minnie Mouse, and I'm like just pushing that away. I'm like, no, that's just my mine. But
Mhm, mhm.
Minnie will not let go of that. And she's showing me Minnie Mouse dancing around, but she's like, she wants you to know a big difference. She's like, I'm not that Minnie because I have a voice. Because, she's showing me the character, and she's like, but she wants you to know that she wants to have a voice. That she has that Minnie, that lovely, that personality, but she wants you to know that she has her voice too, and it's not Minnie. Her voice is not Minnie, is she saying? Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay.
She's a talker. She likes to talk.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
I'm sensing that I'm sensing that she does feel very comfortable where she is. There's also a lot of curiosity. She's enjoying searching like exploring is not searching, but exploring your house and the space. Everything is I'm getting a feeling of like very fresh and very new and just kind of, oh my goodness, what's going to happen next type of feeling.
Yes, she's been in exploration and so she's definitely learning the house and I'm definitely trying to get her comfortable and keeping her from scaring herself. But
Yeah,
she
yeah. So she was showing me the stuff Jane was saying, but a little bit underneath there, that part of that is she doesn't totally feel safe yet. Um,
yes.
like she's exploring, she's like trying to figure that out.
Mhm.
So let's see, Minnie, what would help you feel safer? Oh, so she goes to you. She looks to your reactions
Mhm.
to kind of double check her own. Does she feel safe? And you feeling safe and you feeling grounded. Oh, so yeah, she's showing me. Um, she really wants you to like bring your um, energy. She's showing me you're like up here a lot, and that she's kind of showing me that she wants you both to get a little grounded for her to feel safer. Um,
Okay.
she yeah, she's showing me that when you're grounded, you're very well, she's using the word powerful, but that you may not be comfortable with that. But she's like, Mom, I need you to do this. This is part of your lesson. We got to get powerful together.
Wow. Yeah, wow. You hit the nail on the head. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm still feeling the initial. I keep hearing sort of the first bloom, like everything is just so overwhelming for her.
It
Um,
is.
and I think it might be a little bit of anxiety, um, underneath that. But I feel like she's maybe trying to not hide it, but just push that aside. Um, she has a lot of exploring to do. Um, and I guess, and then, she's back to the marching. So maybe that's what her, that marching is, that she's on a mission to learn about you and about the home and about this place.
Yeah, she's come during the holidays, and I have visitors and dogs, and I'm going to have another bigger dog coming tomorrow, and two little dogs leaving. So she's not afraid of the dogs. She'll go right up to them, but she does raise her back a little bit. So yeah, she's definitely going. And it's just the timing. It was just the timing, and so yes, we're both. And it's funny because I have been a little spacey and up there, so. I like what you said. I need to find my power, my groundedness. I was actually out in the grass the other day trying to ground with my bare feet. And it's funny that you picked that up and she picked that up. So
Yeah, that's funny because yeah, she was just saying that, and I think if you both ground, and it's kind of like pulling your energy in too, and letting it run up and down into the earth and just flow.
okay.
She also says that will help you with all of the the little extra chaos, even though it's fun. It'll just
Yeah.
relax both of your nervous systems.
Yeah.
Because she shows me she's saying tuckered out, like all of the stimulus, and then she just needs to kind of reset and just like,
Yeah.
I'm out
Yeah,
of
she
here.
does do that. She gets real hyper and like when I'm sleeping at night, she pounces on me. And then the minute I reach for her and I start petting her, she curls up and starts purring, and we both go to sleep.
Oh, perfect.
So,
Yep, yeah. So
yeah,
yeah, so together you're on this little exploration to ground and calm your nervous
ground
system
each other.
and yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It makes sense.
yeah.
It does.
I'm also getting the feeling that she's quite the little character, and I get the feeling that she's going to be in charge. Like
Oh,
she's
yes.
come in to your life to kind of organize things and put things in their place, and she is going to be in charge.
She's bossy. She tells me when it's time
Thank
to
you.
eat.
Bossy is a good word.
She's very bossy. She tells me how she wants to play, what she expects of me. She tells me, I want you to pet me. She rolls on her back and shows me her belly and says, rub my
Awesome.
belly. She's
Awesome.
very bossy as far as what she wants from me. Yes.
Oh, that's perfect. So I hope that answers your
You
question.
did. Yeah. We just need to ground and I think we'll settle into
Oh,
after the huddle
absolutely.
of days. Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Y'all are
Oh,
great.
you're welcome.
Yeah.
I think we're ready to move on to Donna and Anne.
And yes.
Terrific. Great. Let's see. Sky Ortiz, would you like a reading? If you could unmute.
Yeah.
All right. Good
All
deal.
right.
What's the name of your animal today?
The name of my animal is Chaos.
Chaos.
Kaos. Chaos.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you. I'm going to respell that, writing that down.
Mhm.
And what kind of animal is Chaos?
He's a black cat.
Okay.
Black
Male,
Kit Kat.
living or in spirit?
He's in spirit.
Okay.
Mhm.
And what is your question for him?
I want to know if he is still visiting me in shadow.
Okay. And does that sound clear for you?
Yes,
Is
it
the
does. You
question?
said shadow, you and shadow?
Yeah, is he
Okay.
still visiting me in shadow?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Very good. Just give us a moment.
Yes.
As Chaos comes in, he's coming in and very intently and just looking right directly into my eyes, just looking into my eyes like he's communicating eyeball to eyeball with me. And he has this way of making his point. He's a proud boy, and he's a strong cat. And he had always had this way of just like arching and making his presence known. I don't know if whenever he was around, everybody knew he was around. Does this make sense for you?
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Command of the room. Yeah.
That's
That's
right.
exactly his personality.
Yeah.
He's also telling me that you and he had a special connection, and actually you still do now, in that, like Donna said, you look directly into his eyes, and you could feel his soul, and he could feel yours. You were complete with each other, if you will. And he wants you to know that he is still connecting with you in that same way. And he said there's no doubt in his mind that you can feel him around you. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, yeah, it does.
Like viscerally feel him, like it feels almost like a brush of fur, or a wisp of him. Yeah. And there's a time when you think you see him out of the corner of your eye, you'll be focused on something, and then you'll see something out of the corner of your eye, and you'll think, was that him? No, it couldn't have been. Yeah, but it was. But it is.
But it is, yes.
Yeah.
Also, he said that he sends you large, loving, like bursts of energy at times that just kind of surround your whole body. And he said for him, it's really, really intense. And he has all he can do to just send every bit of love that he can to you and surround that with you. And he said he's showing me that has watched your expression when he's done this with you before, and you've just kind of looked around the room like, wow, was that you, Chaos? What was that? And he loves to watch your expression when he almost calls it teasing with you, but yet sending his love to you with this huge amount of energy.
Thank you.
Yeah. And with Shadow, you may have noticed Shadow seemingly staring at something across the room, and you look at where he's looking and there's nothing there. And that's Chaos doing a check-in, and the two of them connecting energetically, because they understand, they're rather pragmatic about, being in this realm, the earthly realm versus the spirit realm, and that they can go back and forth rather freely. And they have this connection still. And so Shadow still feels him, still senses when he comes to visit. He also was telling me about how he has this like insects kind of thing, like flying things, like dragonflies, even like flies and mosquitoes and things like that, that he will like buzz Shadow with them. Shadow would do like this with his head. I don't know if you've noticed that, if that's happened, but that's he likes to mess with him a little bit.
That's like a way, he's showing me that as well, as like a way of grabbing his attention. Like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm here, wake up.
Yeah.
Yes, he and Shadow do definitely have a very good connection. And like Donna said, they can talk with each other and truly connect in their own way. As animal souls will. And so that part of what he's doing in the spirit world is making sure that he comes back to visit you and Shadow as often as he can.
Yeah. And he's also making me aware that you can ask for signs and think at him and communicate with him and ask him, for certain signs and then start to watch for them. It may not be like if you have I don't know, a sign of a coin, you may not actually see an actual coin, but then you'll hear a song about pennies or, you'll hear about it or perhaps see it, but that kind of thing, just asking for signs. He's open to that. Can be like a fun game.
Thank
So
you.
does that answer your question? Does that help at all?
Yeah, it does. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Absolutely.
You're very welcome.
Yeah. Thank you, Sky.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I think next we have Karen and Meredith.
Okay,
All right,
so
bringing it in the home stretch.
yep, final reading, you guys. So Meredith and I are going to wrap it up and do one more reading for everyone tonight. And just thank you all for hanging in there for 2 hours. It was a long event, but we wanted to get through as many people as we could to say thank you. And so we're going to pick one more person. Meredith, who are we picking?
I want to know if Linda Downey would like to come up in here. She's trying. Can we help you?
I think I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you like to have a super quick reading, Linda, for the last
Sure.
one of the night?
Okay. Female cat named Jinx, who you might have seen in the camera a few times.
Can you spell that for us?
Jinxx.
Oh, two
double
X's.
X. That's cool.
Two X's.
Yep.
Female cat alive.
Yes.
And what's your question for Jinx?
Jinx came to me as a stray, and she had a collar. So I've always been curious if she got lost or if she abandoned.
What does she want us to know about her life before she came to you?
Yes. I'd like to know if she has a family that misses her. And if I'm sure she's happy with me. She seems to be. She doesn't get along with the other cats in the house, so she pretty
Not
much
too
can't.
much.
Not too
Oh,
much.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so we're going to find out from Jinx. How do we want to word this, Meredith?
Okay, so I wrote down what does she want us to know about her life before she came to you? And I will tell you, Linda, a lot of times when I ask an animal this question, they're like, we're not talking about that. We're talking about now. We don't want to talk about all that. We're here now because they're so present, right?
Yeah.
But I'm going to ask if there's anything she would like to share with us about Karen. Here's how I'd like to actually ask it.
Okay.
What it has to do with our life now.
Okay. What do we need to know from the past that makes sense to know that relates to what we're doing now?
Right.
Got it. Okay. Okay, Jinx.
So, and I'm going to tell you, Jinx is jumping right in, flinging off that old collar. This is a past. This is behind me. This was a label. Don't label me. There's something that this meant, but at this moment, it does not mean that to me anymore. And so I'm going to ask Jinx, what are you saying with all that while Karen gives you a first impression?
Well, she's like pew, 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 with those X's, like there's a double X in her name for a reason. I know you may have named her, but there's no coincidence that you put a double X in her name, because she's definitely going, nope, 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 like to her past. That is done and over with as far as she's concerned. And she wants to X out. She wants you to like really let go of worrying about her past. Done. She's saying done and done. Like these two X's, like done and done. That's done. I really, when I check in with her on that, I really get the sense from her that really that life is done. That was like, I'm done with that. I really keep hearing that word over and over again. Um,
I'll back you up on that.
right?
Yeah.
Like, does that mean that the people weren't nice to her in her past? No, that's not what she's saying. She's saying, I did what I need to do there and I am done. It's like she's a very strong-willed girl.
She sure is.
And she decided, I finished there and that is done. Because there's something about her coming to you that was very, very important in her soul and her higher consciousness journey. She was supposed to get to you. And that's why the way that you put the double X in her name actually is really important.
So I'm asking her, do you want to tell us? Was this a situation you had to get out of? Is this a situation that was unpleasant to you? And she's like, It's like Family Feud, a survey says, and she doesn't want to talk about that. And what Karen's saying is completely resonating with me. I'm done with that. There is a reason that I am not there. That reason is not important, but there is a very much more important reason that I am here. And that's what we need to focus on. Let's stop worrying so much. Let's stop overthinking it. Let's stop overdoing it. Let's stop overcompensating for it. And I'll tell you what this feels like to me, Linda, is like a parent who has a child on weekends trying to do so much more to make up for the week that the child was. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to make up for lost time. And Jinx is like, no, Richard Dawson, kiss me on the lips, whatever. I don't want to talk about any of that. I want to focus on what we're doing now. And it's not about you overdoing, overgiving, overthinking. Let's relationship. She's using that as a verb. Let's relationship. Let's build our time together and stop worrying about what was and what shall be. Let's go right here, right now.
I just feel bad if somebody was missing her because I know if I lost a cat, I'd be heartbroken. So
I would too, but she is showing me that that is not her concern.
Okay.
Here's the thing, Linda, if she were chipped, right? If she were chipped and you scanned her, that'd be one thing.
Chipped. Yeah.
She's not right. She's not chipped. So
now she is.
Yeah, now she is. What she will show me is it just was she kind of lived at this place wherever it was. And I also get the sense there was a lot of distraction going on. I also get the sense from her there may have been a dog in the house, but it's like she walked out the door and was like, don't let the door's not going to kick me in the butt on the way out. I'm done. Like she got out and walked away on purpose.
Okay.
So she on with her own purpose decided she was done. Is that her?
That's her.
There you go. See? So she does not want you to feel bad about her choice. I actually feel like this was somewhat her choice to just like, I'm done and walked out.
Okay.
So the bigger question for you to ask her, Linda, going forward is, okay, let go of how she came to be here. Let go of what her past was, all of those things. Start today, in this moment, in this instant, and say, what are we doing now?
Yeah. She plays very rough. I mean, she bites, she scratches. She's a loving, loving cat. The way she interacts, though, playing, she hurts. So I'm wondering if people played rough with her.
Don't overthink it.
Like it.
Don't worry about it. Don't overthink it. She made her choice and she is with you. So what you do now is what's important.
Yeah.
Does that feel okay to you?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
She's a strong girl. She's a really strong, cool girl.
Yeah. I just wish she'd like the other cats in the house because I have to keep her in the bedroom, And she does go outside, which adds to my anxiety sometimes, but she loves to go outside, but she only goes out for half an hour, like in the morning, and she comes right back. So
well, she says to me in very poor grammar, can't make me do nothing.
Yeah.
Like you are not, she is going to make her decisions. She's going to make her choices. She is well aware of what they are. And she's good with that. She's very strong. She's very independent. Um she's showing me standing on 2 feet, on her own 2 feet, even though she has four. She's she's got this. She is solid and she is stable.
I believe it. I get that from her. Okay,
What have
thank
you what have you got in closing, Karen?
So I'm asking her, what is the lesson in this that you want to share with Linda as we close this? She says, she's dancing to the beat of her own drums, like to her own drums. And there's she's modeling her independence for you and being who she is, how she is, and the way that she is. And she's okay with that. And for you to just take that in and see what that means to you as a message for you. And stop worrying so much about whether she isn't happy and start looking at how she's presenting her authority of herself and how you can take that on and try to embody that in yourself as well. She's cool.
She's a cool girl.
She's really cool. Thank you for letting us connect with her.
No problem.
Yeah.
She's wearing big old black boots. She's wearing like strong black boots. I love it. Well, y'all, Karen, that's
We
it.
did it.
That was a lot, y'all.
Yeah, and if we didn't get to somebody, we're so sorry. We tried to get through as many people as possible. I know some people had to drop off already, but it was a really fun evening. We raised a lot of money for OHANA. Thank you all for coming, and we'll see you in future events, right? Come hang out with us again.
All of the members of the Animal Communication Collective for showing up tonight. We didn't take the time to do individual introductions, but thank you all. We're all certified soul level animal communicators. We do great work to raise money for animals all over the country and all over the world. And we appreciate our friends and family for supporting us every time we show up.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. No, you did something great for 2 women who really, really needed our help and 70 cats in their care. And
Sky just shot out some like laser
Thank you,
beams
Sky.
and fireworks and stuff.
Love it.
You do the lasers one more time, Sky, please.
There we go. Nice. Well, you guys have a great holiday. However that works for you. Enjoy your holidays, and we will see you in 2025.
Bye.
Bye-bye.